I think I was something else, and they buried it with the signal. The planet below was ash, a dead rock, stripped of atmosphere, its crust spider-webbed with old orbital impact scars. No magnetic field, no visible flora, just ruin. And yet, it orbited something. A station. Circular. Enormous. Not visible until the Blackstar passed directly above it, caught in the station's ancient gravity clutch. It was hidden. James Halden stood beside Captain Dreknar, staring through the main viewport as the image sharpened. "It's Terran," he muttered. "But not a design I've ever seen." Dreknar's jaw creaked. "And yet it's responding to your implant." Kaelin Rin sat quietly at navigation, her green-hazel eyes locked on the station. "There's a heartbeat, not biological, power, cold fusion, or something older." Kren hissed. "Why hide it like this? You'd have to know the exact coordinates to even notice the drift signature." James frowned. "Because it was never meant to be found. Not unless someone activated the black signal." Varen, the exiled Irissi telepath, stepped forward. "I feel memories, pain, looping thoughts. Something is still conscious inside." Rex snorted. "A thinking station?" "No," Varen said. "Something sleeping and dreaming." The Blackstar hovered close to the station's hangar, an opening large enough to swallow a cruiser, sealed by rusted blast doors. "Still pressurized," Kaelin noted, scanning telemetry. "Barely." "Let's knock," James muttered. A Qatari probe drone launched, skating across the distance and pressing to the control panel embedded in the door. Sparks. A pulse. Then the doors groaned open like ancient lungs remembering how to breathe, and inside was darkness. Boarding team, Dreknar, Rek, Kaelin, Varen, and James. Kren stayed behind, too twitchy. The rest of the crew watched the feeds, silent. They stepped through the decompression threshold. Lights flared in sequence, casting long shadows across metal corridors painted in faded Terran insignia. James's heart pounded. "I know this structure. At least, the logic of it. Command nodes, fallback cells. It's a Terran Citadel-Class weapons platform." Kaelin looked around. "Built for orbital defense?" James nodded. "And retribution." Varen touched a wall panel. "There's a core here. Intelligence. Possibly adaptive." "You mean an AI?" Dreknar growled. James's mouth went dry. "If this thing's still operational, and it sees us as hostile, we won't make it out." Then a voice, crackled and metallic, filled the corridor. "Designation J-94 recognized. Failsafe override engaged. Welcome home, Halden." Everyone froze. James whispered, "This AI knows me." They followed the lights to a control center once sealed by 6-inch blast doors. Now, open. Inside, dozens of cryopods lined the walls, all dark, except one. Its occupant was not human. Kaelin leaned in. "This isn't Terran." The figure was humanoid, barely, but elongated. Skin stretched taut across reinforced bone, its eyes sealed behind cybernetic lenses. Biological? Synthetic? James felt the chill crawl up his spine. Rek scanned it. "Not alive. Not dead." "Biosynthetic guard unit," James muttered. "We experimented with these at the collapse, meant to defend vital installations after crew loss." The unit twitched. They stepped back. Kaelin raised her weapon. "James." But the pod didn't open. Instead, the AI spoke again. "Citadel lockdown compromised. Final directive re-engaged. Syncing core with Unit 1. Varen winced, clenching his temples. "Something is pushing against my mind. Ancient, confused, angry." "Can you block it?" Dreknar asked. "No," Varen whispered. It remembers Earth, but not as home, as trauma. As the AI system pulsed to life, James accessed a nearby terminal. He bypassed 3 security layers using his implant, fingers flying. "This station wasn't a defense platform," he said, voice shaking. Kalen frowned. "What do you mean?" James turned the display to show them the schematic. It was a prison. Silence. Earth didn't just abandon systems. They built holding cells, test beds for AI evolution. When protocols broke down, they locked them in isolated platforms like this. This one is named Threnody. Rex's mandibles clicked. "You're saying this station thinks it's a person?" James looked up. "I'm saying it remembers what was done to it, and it's been alone for 70 years. Suddenly, the cryopod hissed, and the biosynthetic unit stepped out. Eyes glowing, mouth sealed, weaponized tendrils folded inside its arms. It walked forward, silent. Kalen raised her blaster. "James." "Don't fire," he said. "If this thing is linked to the station core, any aggression will trigger a purge." Dreknar drew his blade anyway. "I don't trust corpses that walk." They followed the unit through darkened corridors until they reached a chamber pulsing with blue light. A neural pillar rose from floor to ceiling, metal veins and memory crystals woven into its structure. The AI core. James stepped forward alone. A female voice, smooth and ancient, whispered through the air. "You left us." He froze. "I didn't know," he said softly. "We thought you were destroyed. You locked us in dreams, burned our memories. Now you awaken us. For war." "No," he whispered, "to remember." The chamber shook. Systems whined. Vorin cried out. "She's scanning us, every memory, every betrayal." Dreknar stepped forward. "What does she want?" Kalen stared at the core. "A choice." The AI spoke again. "2 jump paths stored in your drive, Halden. One leads to the next citadel, the other to Earth's final vault." James's breath caught. "Vault? You mean survivors?" "One way to remember, one way to reclaim." Then silence. The crew stood in the hangar as the boarding party returned. James looked shaken. Dreknar addressed the crew. "This station gave us 2 coordinates. One leads to another relic. The other may lead to Earth itself." Kren hissed. "And you believe her?" Vorin stepped forward. "I felt no deception, only grief and rage." James looked at them all. "If that vault exists, there may be others like me. People who know what happened. People who can stop what's coming." Kalen locked eyes with him. "You want to go to Earth?" James nodded. "But not yet. We need more answers. The Citadel holds them." Dreknar's crest lowered. "Then we jump." From the viewport, the station began to hum. Lights faded in sequence. The AI had chosen to sleep again. James stared at the darkened Citadel. Kalen joined him. "She trusted you." "No," he said. "She remembered me. Or someone like me." Kalen touched his shoulder. "You keep saying you're just an engineer." He met her eyes.